Level 1. The trunk. There's a Glock 17 in your trunk. Black polymer frame. Light scratches along the slide. You didn't buy it from a store. You didn't register it. You don't even know what country it came from. But in the next 30 seconds, you're going to sell it. You're parked behind a closed auto shop. Chain link fence, flickering streetlight. It smells like oil and wet asphalt. A man is walking toward your car. Gray hoodie, hands in pockets. No hesitation. You check the mirrors. Empty. Then, headlights turn the corner. Slow. Too slow. Your hand freezes over the trunk release. Police? The car passes. Bass rattling the windows. Not police. But your pulse doesn't drop. The man is at your trunk now. Waiting, watching, you think. Close it. Leave. Instead, you press the button. The trunk clicks open. He lifts the cloth. Sees the gun. Nods once. Hands you an envelope. Thick. You don't count it. You shouldn't. You close the trunk, drive off. And somewhere between that alley and the first turn, you realize that felt too easy. Level 2. The repeat. Now, it's a parking garage. Concrete pillars, echoing footsteps. This time, it's 2 pistols. 1 Glock. 1 old Tokarev. Cold metal, different histories, same outcome. The buyer isn't alone. There's another man leaning against a pillar, smoking, watching. Not you. Your hands. You feel it. This isn't just a deal. It's an assessment. You move slower, deliberate, open the case. Let them look. No talking. Just process. They nod. Cash again, clean. Fast. But as you walk away, you understand something. You didn't impress them. You proved you're usable. Level 3. The upgrade. The first crate surprises you. Wooden. Stamped markings you can't fully read. Inside, disassembled rifles. A K pattern. Oiled. Wrapped. You pick one up, heavier than the pistols. More. Final. You notice the serial numbers, filed down. Not cleanly, deliberately. The buyer sees you looking. Don't worry about that. You nod. But you already are. Because this isn't random anymore. This is supply. Systematic, organized, and you're inside it. Level 4. The first problem. You're at a warehouse near the edge of the city. Shipping containers stacked like walls. The air smells like rust and salt. The shipment is late. Not by hours, by enough. The buyer is pacing. You said tonight. I said it's coming. When? You check your phone. Nothing. No signal. Of course. Perfect. The buyer steps closer. Close enough that you can smell cigarettes on his jacket. You're not the only one we can call. You hold eye contact. But your mind is racing. Then, headlights. A van pulls in. Late. But here. The tension breaks. Barely. You didn't solve anything. You just didn't fail. Level 5. The control. You fix that. No more blind spots. No more single points of failure. Now, there are backups. Always backups. One night, a driver calls, voice tight. They're checking vehicles on the highway. What kind of check? Random. Nothing is random. You think fast. How far? 10 minutes. You reroute. Secondary road. Industrial exit. No stops. No speed changes. You hang up. Wait. 1 minute. 2. Then, a message. Clear. You lean back. Exhale. That wasn't luck. That was you. Level 6. The network. Now you know people. In ports. In warehouses. At checkpoints. Names you don't save. Numbers you don't repeat. One of them disappears. Gone. No answer. No trace. You ask once. Quietly. The response, he's not working anymore. No one elaborates. No one needs to. You stop asking after that. Level 7. The expansion. Now it's not just rifles. It's crates. Heavy ones, grenade launchers, a few man-pads, old Soviet stock, still functional, still deadly. You're coordinating shipments across borders now. Paperwork that isn't real. Routes that aren't official. One deal almost collapses. Wrong documentation. Wrong clearance code. The shipment gets flagged. Your stomach drops. You fix it. Last minute. Call in a favor you didn't want to use. It works. But now you owe someone. And that's worse than losing money. Level 8. The distance. You don't see the weapons anymore. Just manifests. Coordinates. Tonnage. 12 crates. 3 units. Adjusted route. One call comes in. Are you sure about this route? You pause. You were. Now you're not. Why? Silence. Then, just asking. The line goes dead. You stare at the map. Change the route. No confirmation. Later, you hear there was a stop. Full inspection. Dogs. Search. Not your shipment. Not this time. Level 9. The conflict. Then the world changes. News fills with footage. Smoke. Ruins. Gunfire. Your phone doesn't stop. We need rifles. We need ammunition. We need it now. Prices spike. Demand surges. You sit there, looking at the numbers, thinking, this is bad. Pause. And this is bigger than anything we've done. You say yes. Of course you do. Level 10. The scale. Now it's containers. Not crates. Full containers. You're moving tons. Actual tons. One shipment disappears. No updates. No contact. Nothing. Then, a message. Handled. You stare at that word. Handled. You don't ask what it means, because there are only a few possibilities, and none of them are good. Level 11. The planes. The first time you see it, you stop walking. A Soviet-era cargo plane. Paint chipped. Engines loud enough to shake your chest. The rear ramp is open. Inside, crates. Rows of them. Strapped down. Ready. You walk closer. Feel the scale. This isn't movement anymore. This is logistics on another level. A man hands you documents. You scan them. Then notice. A route change. Last minute. Unapproved. You look up. He's already watching you. You don't need to worry about that. You hold his gaze. Then nod. Because at this level, you're not in control. You're just essential. Level 12. The detachment. You stop asking anything. One call. We need discretion. You almost laugh, but you don't. Because the tone is different. More serious. More final. You execute. No questions. Because now, your role isn't just movement. It's silence. Level 13. The brink. It happens fast. Too fast. You're at an airstrip. Night. Engines running. Crates being loaded. Then, lights. Not plane lights. Vehicles. Multiple. Too organized. Too direct. Your chest tightens. Someone says, "Problem." Radios crackle. Voices rise. Not panic, but close. You look around. Calculate. Exit points. Timing. Distance. For the first time in a long time. You're not thinking about logistics. You're thinking about survival. A man grabs your arm. Move! You move. Fast. Not running, but close. You don't look back. You shouldn't. You don't know if it's enforcement, rivals, something else. You don't need to. Because for the first time, the system didn't protect you. Level 14. The reality. You're somewhere else now. Different city. Different room. Same phone. It buzzes. New message. New deal. Like nothing happened. Like it never stopped. Someone says, "You're still in?" You stare at the screen. Longer than usual. Because now you know exactly how close it came. And exactly how this ends. Eventually, it didn't start with power. Or planes. Or war. Just a Glock in a trunk, one decision, one easy transaction, and a system that kept growing until it almost swallowed you. Because the higher you climb, the more invisible you feel, right up until you're not.